There we go. Part five of no, part four. Sorry, part four. Well, it's gonna be parts four and five at this point. And yeah, we're back to doing some more studying on the Latvian Gambit. I know for a fact that I was going to cover the main line for part four, but I'm gonna have to do it just briefly because as of late there's been a new discovery that I've made that allows us to actually get back against the Mias's hack from before, and yeah, I actually finally found a new weapon that can actually handle the Mias's hack. And it's actually a really good one. The only caveat to all this is that against this new weapon against the Mias's hack, the problem you're going to run into is that the problem you're going to run into is that it relies on this one big trap. But other than that, it should be a viable weapon for you. There will be some additional videos as we discover some more about the Latvian Gambit. Like, lots of people used to say that Latvian Gambit was a very refuted gambit. It's very dubious at best. Like, lots of people say that, but as of now, the new discoveries have made the gambit not so refuted anymore, and there now are plenty of ways to actually have an even chance against some of these players with the Latvian Gambit. Okay, so we'll go through the main line just briefly. We'll touch on it briefly. E4, E5, knight to F3, F5, knight takes E5, queen to F6. This is the important part because this is because we want to like start adding pressure onto the knight. The best move is to actually defend with the pawn, and then we overload the knight, and now the knight has to move, and that allows us to win the pawn back. And his best try is knight to c3, and queen g6 is the next move, and then you're going to basically get, oh god, basically you're going to get this, you're going to get this, you're going to develop your knight, you're going to develop this knight, you're going to get this bishop into the fray like this, or something. Well, you're going to have to work around that bishop's scope a little bit, but other than that, you should be pretty good here. And then the game plan from here is to castle queenside. You gotta remember that one. But as long as we stick to in this example, he castles to the king side because this was engine optimized version of the game, and you normally want to castle queenside, but in this case, the engine wanted to castle kingside for some reason. Castle kingside, c5, and then he'll typically make this blunder trying to kick out the queen, but that just wins the queen. Oh no, it doesn't. It's got by the knight, but you have the bishop there. If you actually look at this, it actually says it's a brilliant. So that's a neat little trick you want to keep in mind. I'll post a PGN for you so you can like look at this and like gather some ideas yourself. The game went on like this. There we go. And that's how the game ended. And yeah, as long as you know what their potential blunders are, you can actually clap back pretty easily. You don't need to know that much about the main line, but there you go. Now we're going to get into the really important stuff. Here we go. And in this one, we're looking at a gambit within a gambit, and it's called the Corkscrew Gambit. E4, E5, knight to F3, F5, initiating Latvian Gambit. And against this, you typically go knight takes E5 like this. Sorry, you typically go knight takes E5 like this. And this initially looks like a blunder. It looks like a blunder. But once you actually get into something like this, the Corkscrew Gambit will have you sacrifice an entire rook in the main line, and then you push this. Now you have the Corkscrew Gambit right here. You sacrifice an entire rook. So it's not for the faint of heart. This normally I have no problem recommending gambits to even the beginner level players, but this one you may want to be ready to play while being down an awful lot of material, but it will be worth your while. So you may want to study chess a little bit more, gain some ratings first a little bit, and then attempt this. But this is an option. I mean, you could try even if you're a beginner, but it will be scary, just letting you know. Against this, the most common move at this point is this, which is a blunder. Now you're going to be at a significant advantage, and you're just going to tear through the... yeah. And the reason why I show you this is, if you actually look at the PGN, yeah, remember the Myers attack? Yeah, we actually found our very own answer to the Myers attack. And knight takes c4, knight takes c5, knight to f6. Again, it looks like we're blundering a rook, but no, it's a sacrifice. And then we push d5. There you go, Corkscrew Gambit. And his best try, I mean, his best try is this. Don't tell anybody. But the most common move is this, and that's a blunder. You push. I don't know why he thinks it's a good idea to take. Oh, it's the best move apparently, to just take the bishop and lose your queen. How pathetic. But anyway, in this example game, he just castled, and then we win the queen for free. Rook takes c1, queen e5, d4, queen h5, queen h5, knight to c3, bishop d6, h3, knight c6, bishop e3, a6, a4. And you really need to remember the move. You castle queenside. Well, it's the only way you can castle at that point, but you have to remember that before going into this entire gambit, you don't necessarily lose castling rights in this. Your main objective is to castle queenside. That's what you gotta remember. Rook dc1, rook takes h8, knight b5, knight a takes b5, a takes b5, knight e7. You know this stuff. And in the game, he tried to, and then this is going to be a very common mistake you're going to see, and then you just win the bishop for free. Because he's not going to see that bishop there. And that just blunders the rook for free. And that just blunders the rook for free. You can also stand the other rook for good measure, and you win the rook for free. Oh, he's gonna check you. Just take with the rook. Oh, nice check. Oh, let's turn that off. Nice check. Go here. Nice sack. Rook d7. King takes e7. g5. Queen h4. King q1. Rook takes c1. Checkmate. There you go. Yeah. That's it for now. I know the next video on chess is going to be a little long overdue, but I'm going to revisit the King's Indian attack video because there's a new course that I've put together on Lichess, and it actually covers the King's Indian attack in full detail. The ideas you learn in the King's Indian attack is so universal, and the repertoire that I cover is so extensive to the point that some of, like, even when you try to play King's Indian attack, half the time you will end up transposing it into a King's Indian defense where you play against the King's Indian setup. So it's going to be a really jam-packed. We already have 21 chapters minimum. We're anticipating at least 100 chapters by the time we're done with the course. But yeah, the textbook is still in development, but I will link I'll link it down in the description anyway. Also, I just found a new Discord server where we get to, like, discuss chess and other things. There are actually 2 different servers that I'm going to link you to. Yeah, I genuinely recommend that you check both of them out. I know for a fact that you've already seen some features of a fellow VTuber named Afri, and yeah, one of the servers that I'm going to link you to is his server, and you're actually going to have some fun while you're there. And another thing too is that go give him some love. It's like, check out his Twitch, check out his streams. He's a really insightful guy, especially in the middle and end game stuff. I know for a fact that I'm supposed to be like this chess arbiter and what have you, but I've always been the opening guru, and what the advantage that I have is that I know more opening theory than he does. But when it comes to, like, but I keep losing to him because he's really good with middle games and end games, and it's really tough having to try to beat the guy because he knows a lot about middle games and end games, and he is a really solid playing style player, and it's really tough trying to terrace defenses. He's the guy's really good. I highly recommend checking out his content if you want to learn more chess in the future. I mean, there will be stuff you'll learn from this channel too. I mean, I can teach a lot of things about opening theory and that kind of stuff, and hopefully we'll do a video in the future where we learn some endgame stuff together. I know for a fact that I'm going to another amateur school in the near future, and I know for a fact that the instructor in charge, he's going to want us to make sure we're really familiarized with endgames to the point that we're supposed to be like endgame experts and what have you. And amateur school is going to be really brutal because the instructor wants us to be endgame experts, and I really hate endgames. Oh my gosh, you will not believe. Alright, have fun.